It's the England Debrief. I'm Adrian Durham, Jim Proudfoot, our commentator with me, Stuart Pearce, England legend with me as well after England won, Senegal 3 here at the lovely City ground. Sadly, the England result didn't match the surroundings, I'm afraid. It all went horribly wrong. No panic, said Thomas Tuchel afterwards. Stuart Pearce, are you panicking?
No, I'm hoping we got a manager that will sort it out and get a bit of cohesion amongst the team. I've got to say, I really enjoyed the game as a spectacle compared to the weekend's debacle and the non-event that was Andorra.
Do you mean as a neutral? Or
if I was trying to look at the game as a neutral, without a doubt. From England's point of view, we were well beaten by a thoroughly better side. There's no doubt about that. I was really impressed with Senegal. But from England's point of view, we were too easy to score against, too easy to counter-attack against, and in most elements of the game, we were outbeaten.
Yeah, I think, Jim Proudfoot, you had all the stats on Senegal pre-match, made us worry a lot, and you were absolutely right as well. They were the better team. They deserved to win.
They're a good team. I mean, they're unbeaten in 22 matches. They've only lost once since England beat them at the World Cup back in 2022. They've only lost one game, and that was a friendly. They're unbeaten in 21 coming into this, and they'd only conceded 5 goals. So they've got a very good defensive record. They were almost at full strength, although there was no Sadio Mane tonight. But this was a stronger team that they put out than they put out in Dublin on Friday night, where they got a draw against Ireland. So I think that they probably were underestimated at large, not by England, but I think that when you got a friendly at home to Senegal, you would imagine, with England's undefeated record against African opposition in their history, that it is going to turn out to be a kind of game. This is a much better Senegal team, I think, than the one that we had played at the World Cup, and that's notwithstanding the absence of Mane. So they're a very good side. They deserve to be in the top 20 in the world rankings, but they're still significantly lower than England, and that is... Well, you can't take anything away from the quality of Senegal and the deserved victory. It was still a very poor England performance.
It really was. First time England have been beaten by African opponents, which is probably what led to some of the, maybe overconfidence that England would win the game. You could point to various things. England took the lead, Stuart. They also missed a sitter, Anthony Gordon poking wide when he should have scored, really. Even when they're losing, they get it to 2-2, and there's a questionable, controversial, perhaps to some, VAR call that disallowed Jude Bellingham's goal. But does that mask what really went on here tonight?
I think so. I think when we did actually score, Harry scored, it was definitely against the run of play. Even when Gordon had that opportunity, it was big swathes of very good play by Senegal, and they looked the better side over 90 minutes. They looked more coherent in the way they were playing. I thought they pressed from the front very well and energetically, and they played out from the back without any pressure on them. If you flip that on its head, I don't think we pressed particularly well from the front and energetically, and certainly playing out from the back, we never really broke the lines well enough. And I mean, we just listened to Thomas's press conference, and he nailed it, really. The team ended up running to a fight when the fight was finished, basically. And at 2-1, they had to go down to chase the game to end up going to play with a better swagger and a better liveliness. And credit to the subs who come off the bench, they contributed to that.
He also said in the press conference, Jim, that the World Cup isn't next week, it's next year. The people shouldn't panic, but it will be a miserable summer for England fans because... Yes, they got the 3 wins in qualification, 3 clean sheets in qualification. They're top of the qualification group. But maybe this game was more of a pointer as to where England are at.
Yes, England didn't play very well against Albania in beating them. They were certainly very substandard against Andorra in beating them. And tonight, the better side won. So England have played 4 games under Thomas Tuchel. They've only played well, and that's well with a small W rather than a capital, in 1 game, and that was in beating Latvia, who are ranked outside the top 100 in the world. So that just shows the room for manoeuvre there is for improvement. Having said that, you think back a year ago this week, England lost at home to Iceland, and then weeks later we're in the final of the Euros, and very nearly took that to extra time. That was over a matter of 6 weeks. Now, I know that England didn't play particularly well in the Euros, but it shows that nothing is won a year out. But clearly, over the last 12 months, England have gone backwards for whatever reason. They've used a lot of players. We've seen 10 debutants. We've seen 37, 38 different players. England have lost twice over the course of the season at home, both in matches against teams outside the top 30 in the yellow ratings. So it's not been a great season at all. And if England play as they have over the course of this season at the World Cup, they won't get very far. That's the bottom line. There's no need to panic because it is still 12 months away. But England have to improve. They've got to improve because this just feels like a wasted season, really.
Yeah, he talked in the press conference, Thomas Tuchel, about not understanding the phrase or the meaning of the phrase, the weight of the shirt. Can you help us out on that one?
Yeah, it's as simple as this. What he sees on the training pitch, which he alluded to as well, what he sees on the training pitch is not transferring into match action for whatever reason. He sees a great deal of talent, a great deal of swagger, a great deal of interchange and exciting football on the training pitch, but he's not seeing the same personality on the pitch at this moment in time.
I've got a simple question for you both. The World Cup in the USA, Mexico and Canada starts in a year's time. So Jim Proudfoot, first of all, can you see England winning it?
No, not at the moment. But I think that there are a lot of reasons for that. Not just the way that England have played over the course of this season. I think when it's a summer tournament played in very hot weather, I think it's going to be extraordinarily difficult for an England or a side that have a lot of players in their squad who will be playing a lot of Champions League football to do very well in it. Some of the England players, I mean, we're relying heavily on Chelsea players at the moment. They're going to the World Club Championship. So I think you've got to look at workload. So I think it is going to be really difficult for England to win it. That's not saying that they haven't got a chance. Clearly, England have a chance, and there are several of the 48 qualifiers that won't have a chance. England haven't qualified yet, and that goes with, you have to say that, so there's nobody taking anything for granted. I expect that England will qualify because they've got the safety net of the playoff place if they don't win the group. Serbia away is a very important game now for any number of reasons. But no, at the moment, I can't see England winning it. Clearly, I would be absolutely euphoric if I was proved wrong.
Stuart?
Once again, from the offset, I've always thought it was a no because it's so difficult to win a World Cup, in North America, potentially in Mexico, wherever it may be. I think there's too many elements, and I'm not talking about Thomas Tuchel's reign at the moment. I think we need to improve how we play out from the back, how we start games. I think we play into games too slowly, and I don't think we press particularly well from the front. Elements of the game that have got to be improved upon if you're going to be World Cup winners.
Well, results haven't been that bad, certainly in qualification, but performances highly questionable. I would say that he's got to have the year of his life. The year that will make his career, Thomas Tuchel, if he's to get this lot to win the World Cup next year. We'll see you next season, next time on the England Debrief.